In the smouldering aftermath of a nuclear civil war that tore apart the forsaken world of Krieg, where rebellion and chaos once reigned, a new malevolence stirs. The very essence of chaos, insidious and unrelenting, seeps into the tainted soil and festers within the chemical toxins that now taint the once living surface. From the depths of this unholy corruption, a grim and terrifying sight emerges. The fallen warriors of Krieg, casualties of the brutal conflict, rise once more, bound by the twisted powers of chaos, their lifeless bodies reanimated, no longer noble defenders of justice they once were. Now they serve the dark forces that have infiltrated their world, their rotting flesh hungering for the souls of the living. The death corps of Krieg, ever resolute, stand watchful and prepared. Their once proud hive has been forced underground, its entrance guarded by a formidable bunker. Beyond the safety of its fortified walls, only treacherous trenches stretch into the desolate battlefield. It's within these muddy ravines that the defenders will make their final stand, seeking to funnel and impede the unholy tide that advances relentlessly. As the battle draws near, the air crackles with otherworldly energy. The Death Corps, their uniforms now tattered and stained with the blood of fallen allies, dig their heels deep into the cold earth. Each warrior clutches their weapon with white-knuckled determination, knowing their duty demands the ultimate sacrifice. Brace yourselves for the impeding clash where the Death Corps of Krieg stand firm against the horrifying amalgamation of undeath and chaos. In the grim darkness of this shattered world, the defenders fight not only for their survival, but for the very soul of Krieg itself. The trenches shall become their bastions, the barriers against the onslaught of undead chaos warriors. Prepare for a battle that will test their resolve, their loyalty, and their unyielding spirit for the Emperor. Switching over to our tactical map here, we can see the barren planet of Krieg here, with its trench lines stretching for miles. So the Death Corps of Krieg have taken up this interesting position here, trying to use the trench line as a ditch and a barrier between them and the chaos undead horde that's approaching. To aid them in the defense here, they've got 6,200 of their finest warriors. And of course, no army is complete there without a tank. They are backed up by 20 Lehman Russ battle tanks. Will this be enough to defeat the undead horde, ladies and gentlemen? After all, there is 1.6 million undead chaos-possessed warriors about to charge this position. Will they be able to do it? Well, as always, there's only one way to find out. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick off the slaughter. Already you can see our possessed horde, gigantic inside, is beginning to charge right towards the trench lines over here. Now, there is a few natural barriers in the way that are sort of going to hinder them a little bit. They're not going to be able to fill these in with bodies, so they are going to be permanent barriers, and already, there we go, the Death Corps, ladies and gentlemen, opening up on that front line, absolutely rinsing anyone who's daring to get close. The Lehman Russ battle tanks there, echoing volleys of shell fire right into the lines. You can see hundreds are being cut down where they stand. Already 3,000 lasses have been in shooting it to the possessed horde. Let's go have a look at our trench lines over here. Look at this, a lovely, wonderful ditch all the way down here. Now, it is going to be extremely difficult here for the attackers, but of course, they're a possessed horde. They do not care. They'll happily fill in this ditch with blood and bodies, and that is literally what it's going to take for them to get there. But they are getting close now. Despite all the guns here firing down upon them, they are trying to find a way in. It's this little valley here, though I would imagine that this could fill up with blood pretty dang quickly. There's a hell of a lot of them. Look at this. An insane amount of troops just charging over. Already 30,000 losses. It's not enough though, ladies and gentlemen. They are still pouring forward. Look at that swarm. Oh my god, that is the kind of thing that will make me put brown stains in my pants. You do not want that heading towards you at all. Already blood is starting to leak all over the battlefield here. To be honest, I didn't quite know zombies would actually bleed. You'd think that all the blood would be clotted in them. But you know what? We're going to roll with it. Look at all this firepower, though. Oh my god. There is a multi-layered system here. They're shooting over each other's shoulders right into that horde, which is just getting decimated as it tries to approach. These possessed here, then, are definitely going to have to build body piles to be able to advance here. And I think they're doing a pretty damn good job of that already. This whole area now is completely peppered in bodies. How are they doing? Are they actually getting to the front line? Bit by bit, look at this. They are making a wall out of bodies here, which is protecting the ones on this side from gunfire, at least until they get to the top. So they've got some more building to do here, but my god, 97,000 already eviscerated before a single one has got anywhere near the front line. Let's go have a look at our trenches. How are they faring over here? Bit by bit, they are slowly starting to fill up with blood. But oh my god, what an absolute massacre that has taken place here. There's so many bodies already over this floor. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. The Death Corps here, proving exactly why they are elite special forces, basically. It's kind of interesting, actually, in the lore of the Death Krieg. Most planets are expected to pump out roughly 1 regiment every solar year. The Death Krieg, ladies and gentlemen, pump out 10. Many suspect that they've been allowed to do genetic engineering to enable them to create so many troops, and the Imperium just sort of turns a blind eye to it, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. There are reports of some of them, like, actually just being kids in the armor. Like, that's why, not just like, because they're hidden by the gas mask, so it's really hard to tell how old they are, but yeah, there's like reports of literal kids in the army, and it's kind of creepy. So yeah, the Death Corps, ladies and gentlemen, what a weird history they've got. Obliterated their own planet because it fell to chaos, and now they fight an underground hive civil war. Oh my god. But this is why they are so fervent, ladies and gentlemen, because of the rebellion, because some of their higher-ups decided to rebel against the Emperor. They now forsake their lives, basically, in the name of the Emperor, to atone for that sin. And my god, look at this. What an absolute massacre. 220,000 now dead. They've still got 1.4 million to go, and this is really starting to fill up now. Oh my days. Pretty soon there'll be a pathway here for the approaching Chaos Horde to actually focus in on how we're getting on over this side, because I'm imagining that something like that is... Oh, look at this! In the actual gap they've found now. Yeah, so this is where the trench line ends briefly, and they are trying to storm along here, but my god. They are really paying for this. Oh, they are atoning in blood. Crone will be extremely happy, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I know that annoys a lot of people, the fact that I call it Crone instead of Corn. I know the H is meant to be silent and his name is meant to be Corn, but quite frankly, I think Corn sounds awful. I think it sounds really cheesy, so flat out, I refuse to call him Corn. I think Crone sounds much more in line with Tzeentch, Slanesh, you know, Nurgle. Crone, you know, it sort of fits in better with that rather than Corn. Because every time I think of Corn Berserkers, for some reason, all I can think of is the South Park episode where the band Korn is in it. That's all I can ever think about. Form Corn! Oh god, no. So yes, I am going to call them Chrome Berserkers. Deal with it whether you like it or not. That's up to you. I don't really care. They are Chrome Berserkers to me. And speaking of, ladies and gentlemen, oh my, we are very lucky that the Bloodletters and Blood Champions cannot spawn out of these pools. Imagine if they actually give modders like proper scripts, so modders can make their own scripts and stuff like that to run in battles. That would be amazing. We'd actually be able to get things like zombie infections and being able to spawn things out of like liquid pools. Speaking of spawning things out of liquid pools, look at this. So many bodies now are filling these trench lines. This is a horrific sight. Oh my god. So many have died. So many. And look at them. They're just pouring forward, filling in trench line after trench line with bodies. Oh my, how are we doing over here? This one now is getting rather ridiculous. You can see that the path is widening up here. 385,000 kills so far to the defenders. They've only lost 97. They're doing an excellent job. Speaking of, look at this. All these possessed chaos here trying to funnel into this one area are just being absolutely gunned down. It's kind of ridiculous. Thousands are being killed every second. Okay, let's go take a dip. Can little Timmy get out his rubber dinghy here? Yes, he can, ladies and gentlemen. Little Timmy's going to be very happy. Though he might have to watch out for the avalanche of bodies that are proceeding. Though it must be said, the Chaos Horde now are actually encroaching on the front line of the Krieg here. The resolute, though, determination in their hearts. They are firing their guns. They are not going to give up this position easily, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no. They are going to take as many of these to the grave with them as possible. The chaos here wading through bodies, blood and guts. Oh my god, you absolutely have to love it. It must be said though, it does look like they're actually making gains on this side. Somewhat. They are able to push forward. Though it must be said, this side of the field was nowhere near as well defended as the centre lines here. The flank on this side is also a lot more secure, with it having a proper ditch all the way along and a really big open field of fire there. On this side, however, yeah, they didn't have quite that much luxury. There is a nice open field, but there was a big gap in the ditch here, and you can see that the Chaos cultists here capitalising on it, pushing right into this corner now. The entire trench that was on this side has now completely disappeared, totally filled in with bodies. That is kind of crazy, actually. Think about that. There was a big trench here, and now it's just filled in entirely with bodies. How are we doing on the front line over here? Well, this one has not yet been filled in bodies, but they're absolutely putting in the work here. Bob the Builder would be extremely happy with this. This is getting kind of ridiculous now. They're sort of just making a pyramid. You need to fill out the trenches to the side, guys, so more of you can push through. Same over here. They're just building pyramids. Oh my god, there is still 1 million left here though, ladies and gentlemen. They have got every opportunity to break through. Look at this. I did say this area is going to slowly fill up with blood. And in the background, Crone laughs on. This flank is falling bit by bit though. Oh my god, yeah, look at this. They're just being torn through now. They are not panicking though. They are resolute. They are not giving up any ground here. They're going to fight to the last, definitely. So we've got to hope then that some of these guns over here can start dealing with the menace that'll come from the flank. If not, well, they're going to be quickly outflanked and surrounded over here. As you can see, if this flank falls, it's going to be really tough because all these troops here are really just sort of in a position to only be firing forward until we get back over to this flank. So here's a little bit of a Nostradamus prediction for you. This here, ladies and gentlemen, may be our last stand area. Just simply because the zombies haven't got anywhere near close to it yet. However, it does look like then that this line over here now is falling bit by bit. And what I think we're going to do is we're quickly going to hit a time-lapse camera and see what happens. And want to see how quickly does this flank fall. Does it fill it with bodies beforehand? We'll find out in a second. Welcome back. As we can see then that the flank has pretty much completely fallen now. There is only this square formation here that is remaining. They are holding out resolutely. Resolutely though, as Chaos cultists can fly through the air. Look at this insane blood pool that we've made here. This is actually the trench line. Oh my god, that is so deep. Little Timmy can get out the Titanic, let alone a rubber dinghy. But you can see, though, that the Chaos have managed now to completely surround these and are attacking from the rear. The Blood Lake here is providing invaluable defense, though, for the defenders here of Krieg. Look at this body pile in the center, though, now. It has grown insanely big, as has the one over here. Though, look at this trench line, again, become completely impassable terrain, unless they manage to fill it up with bodies. But look, we are slowly but surely being cut off at this end over here. The last men here resolute in their defense, taking as many as they can. Only 4,000 defenders remain here, though. They've killed 900,000 of the Chaos Horde, though. That is absolutely ridiculous. There's just blood, guts, and death everywhere. No matter where you look, these tanks here have been pumping out so much as well. The shells have been providing invaluable support for the infantry here on the front line, just sending cultists and zombies flying through the air. It's fantastic to see, quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen. And just to get an insane look at this, look. This body pile. Absolutely ridiculous. That is one huge body pile of cultists there. Oh my god. Like I said, Crone is going to be extremely happy in this one. There's just blood everywhere. In fact, if the blood god himself does not show up, then you know what? We've failed. Because quite frankly, this is an impressive display of slaughter that we've managed here.
But so far, though, the defenders are still holding out. They've just lost about 300 units, so you can see that the Chaos Swarm is slowly but surely eating its way through. But my god, they are paying for it in blood, ladies and gentlemen, and bodies. Jesus, there's not going to be much left of the Horde here now. 625,000 of them remaining. Oh my days, I cannot get over this. This is just an insane slaughter here. Oh my god, so what we're going to do once again, because this is going to still take a little while here, once again we're going to hit another time lapse. Let's see if we can fill in some more of these trenches. See you in a moment. Welcome back, and oh my god, what an insane slaughter has been taking place here. Look at this. So they've actually finally built out the pyramid now, and it finally reaches the trench line. But over here, ladies and gentlemen, look at the insane body pile that we've made over here. There's literally tanks on the verge of drowning now. They are just piled on top of bodies. There is no trench line or sense of terrain under here anymore. Oh my god, there's just this ravine where there are Lehman Russ Sherman tanks here are basically just annihilating everything around them, which is kind of what you'd expect really from a zombie horde versus a Lehman Russ. It just stand there nuking the hell out of everything. But yeah, look at that. I can't get over the insane body piles that we've made here. And the fact that these tanks are still holding out after this long, it's been like 40 minutes now of constant barrage from the undead here. And they are just absolutely firm here, just not giving up an inch of ground. The entire flank is being held together by just these few tanks. As you can see, most of these deathcore here are focusing on these possessed that are coming over this body pile here. In fact, actually, I dare say that most of this flank has actually been cleaned up. We've got a few troops that are sort of, because they are possessed, they're sort of stuck over here because they're all trying to funnel through this one little gap. And when you're trying to get 20,000 men through one little gap, it's not really going to work out. So I would say they've actually managed to clear up this entire flank, which means then that the only units that they've really got to deal with now is this massive horde over here. So long as the tanks can hold out, they'll actually do a decent job of holding over there for quite a while. But look, I do think though one or two tanks are actually starting to fall now. They are completely soaked in blood. Apart from these ones, these are absolutely fine. They've not even been hurt yet. So there's still a little while to go for the chaos to be able to pull through. But my god, what absolute work here has been put in. 6,000 units, remember, ladies and gentlemen. 6,000. So far, they've killed 1.2 million. There's only 240,000 of the horde remaining. They actually might be able to do this. It depends how long these tanks hold out for and how insane the body pile gets. Because this is actually one of the craziest body piles that I've seen in quite a while. It's spread out such a wide area. There's just piles of bodies. It's fantastic stuff. Oh my days. So then, let's have a look then. What have we actually got over here? So it does look like then that basically the Imperial Guard over here are actually almost at the top of the hill. They're holding it resolutely here. In fact, look at this. They've actually almost taken out the entire horde on this side. Oh my days. They actually have. There's only a trickle of units coming into them over there. The entire horde is on this side, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this is getting really close now. I would not be able to call this. Only 213,000 remaining here for the horde. But they've still got these tanks to deal with. And the tanks, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, these ones haven't even been injured yet. There's a damn good chance here that the Death Corps of Krieg will actually be able to wipe out the entire horde all by themselves. So yeah, we're going to hit another time lapse because it takes a while for these tanks to die, and I want to see this body pile get crazy. So, as always, we'll be back in a second. Well, 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 ladies and gentlemen, would you look at this? There's only a trickle of the horde now coming in. Pretty much every single one of them has been wiped out. Now, we know that they say 140,000. That's because they're all kind of stuck over here on the trench line. And unfortunately, I haven't got RTS mode enabled, so I can't actually control them and tell them to go a different way. So we've only got these tiny trickles of the horde now coming in. But look at this. What an epic sight to behold. There are so many bodies. Oh, they are just strewn all over the floor. There's blood, guts, and mountains of bodies absolutely everywhere. In the end, 1,800 Imperial Guard did manage to survive. Oh my god. And look at that. And a fantastic Blood Lake site to finish it off. Let's have a look at the desolate world of Krieg, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Ah, absolutely wonderful. I know I'll be visiting this on my holidays, but I think, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to call this one here. As always, I do hope you had a blast. I know I did. Please do comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. A massive shout out to all our channel members who help to keep this channel going. As a bonus reward, your extra members content is now available, so go and check that out. And if you're not a channel member, why the heck not? Click the join button below. And if you're after some handy dandy artwork, check out links in the description. With all that being said, as always, until next time, peace.